it's looking like a nice regular opening.
Get over the top.
And that
Cool.
fits over it like that, okay? Then what I do,
Pop rivet it.
just squeeze the metal up nice and close.
Yep.
And these things can be particularly handy. This is what they call multi-grips.
Yep.
Right?
Got a pair
So
there.
it'll pinch onto things and hold. And you can adjust the jaws.
Mm.
So I put them so they're almost touching. And if you're on upside down on underneath this thing, what it can do, it gives you another set of hands. Push that in. Okay, that'll hold it there for me.
Mm.
I don't have to. Now, I'm going to use a drill. It's small enough to make a hole that will accommodate a pop rivet.
Mm.
And for those who don't know what a pop rivet is, they're really handy things to know because they allow you to join metal parts like this together very simply. That is a pop rivet, sold everywhere. So this part is the little bulb on the end. It's one continuous pin, and it's got a collar, little thing there. And this part, this sheath, this little tube is soft, and the steel pin is hard. And when you put it into a rivet gun, which again is sold very cheaply, has a series of little jaws in here. So you put the pin in, and as you squeeze it up, it's not a gun. Oh, hang on, I've got the wrong thing in there because I was using different rivets yesterday. So you can see that these all have different apertures.
Yeah.
When I was putting the trellis on the shed for Alan yesterday, I had to use a fairly large pop rivet.
Did you have to, I was thinking about that too, did you silicone it or is that enough?
The rivets bite up really hard.
Do they?
Yeah. When you're doing tech screws on a roof, it's good to go around afterwards and put a dog of
Stuff.
It's elastic.
It's elastic around the outside edge. Yes. Tighten that up. The right one there. So when I light this up, see how it mushrooms? Yeah. Right. And what that does is that balls up, and so it mushrooms behind the piece of metal and traps it against the flange. Right? So it's a very simple way of joining metal. So what we need to have is this drill bit size will allow this part to go through.
Yeah.
Right? And the jaws are holding it for me. So I'm now drilling through the outside edge of the outlet and the piece of metal that I cut and peeled back. Yeah. Really simple. Blunted my little drill bit just there. There's in there. Push that through the hole. And then move to the next one. And do the same thing. downpipe. One of these things that you can see coming down the side. This is just a small section of it. You'll then slide over this. And you do the same thing. You drill a hole and you pin it. And it doesn't have to be, this doesn't have to be all that strong, because the straps that go on the wall, right, you tie this to the wall that it's running down, so this is up like this. Okay, and it's going to run down the side of the house, and you'll strap it to the there, and you'll pin it usually with a rivet there as well. So the whole thing's holding its weight in multiple places, so it's not all just hanging off the gutter. It's pretty simple, huh? So now I can interrupt the water flow that's collecting off the roof anywhere I want, and then from here there's a variety of fittings that you can get that will go from, say, from a square fitting to a round fitting, and then you can buy round flexible hose, so you can change the direction of it anywhere you want and run it anywhere you want into your garden. You can connect it onto, you can connect a piece of round hose onto some of that aggregate, that egg pipe that we were looking at yesterday, so that it will run to a certain point and then start bleeding out of the pipe into the garden bed somewhere.
Is there connections with PVC piping as well?
There's connections with PVC piping. That pale blue pipe that's on the gutter there, that's PVC, which I painted.
Okay.
So you can go from metal to PVC, PVC to metal. There's 1,000,001 fittings, it'll drive you mad.
Too many children.
Yeah, but the actual business of putting them in is really simple.
Cool.
The only part that's really worthwhile knowing, I think, is, you know, you drill a large diameter hole, you scribe the outside of the shape or the size, and then you cut from there to the corners.
Yeah.
Right? That will allow you to peel back a perfectly square aperture, and it gives you a metal flange that's still in touch with the intact. Like, don't cut a complete square out.
Hole.
Yep.
Then you're going to have to start drilling into here, and you're holding it upside down. That is a much easier way of doing things, and it gives you a fairly unobstructed
Not
hole.
obstructing the water flow by having those flanges inside there, and
everything will wash down through there, where you can put a piece of mesh over it if you need to.